The rain pours down here in Gateshead International Stadium. As Catena for Spain drives into the home straight, finds another gear.
But for the time being, we're off to the track just behind them.
Well, I said 15 starters in the 1,500 metres was a big field. There are 19 in this men's 5,000 metres, 12 and a half laps of the track. How they like to really enjoy these conditions, these fellas, or not. But it is a strong field. And anything down towards 13:20, I feel, in these conditions would be very good indeed. The stadium record is 13 minutes exactly, with 2100s on top of it by Vincent Chepcock back in 2010 when there was a lovely warm July day. A lot of the stadium records were set in that particular edition here in this stadium. But it's a real good mix here, and there is an Ingebrigtsen going in this race. Henrik, the elder of the three brothers, not very experienced at 5,000 metres. So it'll be interesting to see how he copes here, having seen his younger brother look quite supreme over 1,500 metres. Kimeli, well, he is perhaps the class act and the man to beat here. He's been in good form recently. Kimeli, just 22 years old. He's a 12:51 performer. 8th in the World Championships back in 2019. But 7:49 for a win in the Netherlands just recently shows that he has wintered pretty well. Andy Butchart of Britain, well, 6th in Rio remains the top line on his biography. He was 8th in London 2017. He ran 13:20 though in California just last Saturday, so he's in good shape as the Scot. And there is Henrik Ingebrigtsen, the European champion over 1,500 metres in 2012. How will he go here? Sean Tobin, 3:57 miler from Ireland, ran quite well in Ostrava over 3,000 last Wednesday. Jacob Krop, 6th in the World Championships in 2019. He's still only 19 himself, the Kenyan. Best of 13:03. Jonas Reis of Switzerland goes here. He's a 13:20 performer at his best. And Hendricks of Belgium, Mikal of Spain. Watch him, Mikal. Very useful. 3:33 1,500 metre runner. There he is in the red shorts. Great speed and strength, in fact, the Spaniard. He's a 7:35 3,000 metres performer. But the pacemakers, well, the aim is to be around 13:10. I think, again, that might have been written before this wind was quite so apparent. 2:37, 2:38 per kilometre is what's been requested. How many of them will be game to go with that remains to be seen. The two groups will join as they come into the home straight once that left-hand group have got past the blue cone. And the pacemakers, well, Adam Clark it is who will take them out, and we're looking for, as I said, about 2:37, 38 for the first kilometre. I think, Steve, we should be adding 2 or 3 seconds to each of those predicted or requested kilometre splits, and if they get around 13:20, not 13:10 here, I shall be very, very impressed.
I agree. I'm not even sure 13:20. I mean, possibly, you know, they could go steady and pick it up. And you know, Adam Clark's an experienced pacemaker, so he's just took a look around there to say, look, is anyone coming? If they are, fine, I'll keep running hard. So they have lined up behind him. Be interesting to see the decisions made by some of the others. Kimeli and Krop have got up there, Butchart further back in the pack. He ran his 13:20 just recently. Didn't really go with the pace. His coaching partner, Charlie Grice in America, had been set up to take the pace. And there was 2-3 of them looking at each other. Didn't really go with it. The race did heat up. He still got a 13:20. But today, I'm pleased that there's athletes lined up behind Clark here. So at least they've got this moving at a decent pace. But I think you're right, Tim. It's what happens when Clark drops out, because there'll still be quite a few laps to go after that.
Crop and Kimeli then go through in second and third behind the pacemaker. A 63-second lap there. That would still be around 13:10 pace, 13:08 pace if it's maintained. So quite useful. So they went through 1 kilometre in 2:38.3. They're on about 13:15 tempo. You can see Butchart there in the red shorts in 6th place, trying to close that gap to get up to the pacemakers, and Kibet and Krop and Kimeli. And also there is Mohamed Katir of Spain in the blue T-shirt. I think it's a one-piece actually. Butchart back in 5th place, or is it 6th now, including Clark, the pacemaker. Although Krop, I think it is, yes, it's Kibet who's pushing almost. I don't know if he's had a word or two with Clark there, but it looked like he was impatient to push the pace along as they continue to lap at around 63-second pace. Ingebrigtsen, by the way, Henrik Ingebrigtsen, in the dark glasses. Is he really wearing dark glasses, or is he not? Back in about 7th place behind Andy Butchart with those red shorts.
Keeps the rain out your eyes.
Why didn't you wear them in the rain then?
By the way, Andy Butchart announced going to be a father. Him and his partner Lindsay Sharp announced that recently. So congratulations to them. And I'm just watching Butchart. He made that move there, Tim, and took Ingebrigtsen and the others back to that group. But you can see, isn't he? He's stuck there a little bit because he's got to make that effort. Katir can't really. Katir's moving up now, and all of a sudden Butchart's got that 5-metre gap, and he needs to try and close that as quickly as he can, if possible. That's easier said than done.
They are moving well, but this group of 5 easing away, and Butchart trying desperately to close that gap, and he's dragging others with him. You're right. Well, we've got a breakaway group of 4. And the danger man in there is Mohamed Katir of Spain. He's a 3:33 1500-metre runner. Doesn't he look quite glorious there, bouncing along in 3rd place? Looks smooth behind Kimeli, who will try and wear them down through the second half of this 5,000. They went through 1K, remember, in 2:38, 2K 5:16.65. Kimeli, Kibet, Katir and Krop. It's all the Ks there in this breakaway group of 4, and you can see what, about 40 metres back to Andy Butchart leading the big pack. He's been unable to go with this surge, mid-race surge from Kimeli. Kibet has done his share of leading too, but they will know, I'm sure, about the danger of Mohamed Katir, who has a personal best at 5,000 metres. Listen to this. He's assured of a personal best tonight of only 13:50. A 64.5 is slow by international standards, Steve, but in these conditions, it's keeping them well clear of the rest.
Yeah, I think he's done better than that indoors, and he's had a good indoor season. He's been running very well this winter. We saw him on the indoor tour a couple of times. Not performing at this level though. He looks very comfortable with these two, as the 3 of them just get a little bit of a gap going here. And in these conditions, I know we keep mentioning it, sorry too, but it is cold, it's wet, it's windy, but they're going well.
4 laps to go then in this 5,000 metres. They went through 3,000 in 7:57.8. Katir, just after that point, put in a big surge to break up the group and started breaking away, and then Kimeli spotted the danger and covered the break, but you can see what's happened. Kimeli leads from Katir, the 3:33 1500-metre performer, who looks very, very comfortable, I have to say. He's long and lean, isn't he, Katir, with that ponytail flapping behind him. Kimeli, a little glance over his shoulder there with 3.5 laps to run. Kibet back in 3rd place at the moment, struggling to go with this. I don't know if Kimeli will slow it down so Kibet can close up, but if he does, I expect Katir will go past him, because the Spaniard, only 23, is looking full of running. I wonder how experienced he is at 5,000 metres. Had some great indoor runs over 3,000 this winter just gone. A little grimace there from the taller figure of Katir. And Jimmy Gressier left a picture in the headband. That is the Frenchman, better known for some of his victories over cross-country and his celebrations when he wins cross-country races than perhaps for his running on the track, but he's having a great run here as Jimmy Gressier, as he's beginning to close up on 4th place.
Yeah, Gressier doing a good job of kind of bridging from the main pack. They're a long way behind, but those 5 men out there stretched out. But look at these two, Kimeli and Cartier. You're absolutely right. He's hanging on a little bit now, I think, Tim. But he's only got 1,000 to go, and if he can stay with Kimeli here over the next lap or so, his confidence will rise. A 2:39 kilometre, but Cartier is just beginning to feel this. Kimeli doing his best to get rid of him. The rain lashing down, absolutely lashing down. It's almost like cross-country weather, isn't it?
You're telling me it is, yeah. Thank goodness we're well sheltered under the stands here, but it is a chilly evening as well. It's not just wet, it's chilly. It's probably no more than about 9 or 10 degrees at the moment, at the most. But to Kimeli here, eyes focused as they go through. 2 laps to run. And Cartier sticking to his heels. The gap has grown back to Quebec in 3rd place. That shows how strongly Kimeli is running in the conditions, despite that 4th kilometre only being a 2:39, and that's only with inverted commas because they're still well inside 13:20 tempo, as Gressier is now caught Crop in 4th place, so the Frenchman may well move into 4th himself there. Right of picture, that's Gressier in the headband with Crop right in front of him, and then an isolated Quebec in between these the 2 duos as they come round now with 600 metres to run. It's Cartier almost moving onto the shoulder of Kimeli. I still get the impression Cartier has got another gear there if it's needed. What can Kimeli do? We know he's strong. Nicolas Kit-Kore-Kimeli, he's only 22. A World Championship finalist. He was 8th in Doha with 13:05, so he has got enormous speed and strength. But as they come to the bell, it's Kimeli from Cartier. About 30 or 40 metres of empty track behind them. And the 3:33 1,500 metre man is not going to leave it for long. He kicks hard at the bell, pushes into the back straight here with the wind behind him, the rain pouring down here in Gateshead. But Kimeli's not finished. Matching stride for stride, Cartier, who may have gone too early. Kimeli, in turn, looks full of running, doesn't he? Cartier is grimacing. It hasn't worked so far. Kimeli looking strong, but the gap maybe is growing with 150 to run. The rain pours down here in Gateshead International Stadium as Cartier for Spain drives into the home straight, finds another gear, and Kimeli there, a little glance over his shoulder. That was telling. Cartier drives to the line, the gap grows, and he's going to get this win over the best of the Kenyans here tonight. 13:08.52. That is superb running. That final kilometre, very, very quick indeed. Down towards 2:30, I suspect, as Quebec comes home for 3rd place. And the rest of them stream across the line, but the winning time from Cartier, it is absolutely top-notch. 13:08. It makes him about the 8th fastest man in the world this year. In these conditions, I suspect that time is probably worth inside 13 minutes. Absolutely fantastic. He's worked for that too. Did his fair share, took the lead, and then had it taken back just after 3,000. And then waited till the bell and kicked hard and really had to persevere down the back straight, Steve. 13:08.52, a personal best by a big, big chunk.
Yeah, really impressive. 2:31 last K, somewhere around 54, 55 last 400 metres for Cartier. And he had to win it 2 or 3 times. He thought he'd won it the first time he went the front. Then he had to really try and break Kimeli down the back straight. He couldn't. And then he had to have another go in the home straight, and then it was decisive. And that, you know, he ran 7:35 indoors, as you said, 3:33. You put those 2 things together, and yes, you must have a, you know, if you've got the strength, a decent 5. But this was in these conditions, 13:08. He must be able to go quicker. You know, he missed out on a medal at the European indoors when he was one of those fancied to win a medal in the 3,000 metres. This won't quite make up for not winning a medal, but he'll go an awful long way towards it. That is a huge improvement for him and a significant marker. 13:08, and surely better to come for him.
Well, but for the conditions, I think it'd have set a stadium record. Chetcock back in 2010, just a click outside 13 minutes, but 13:08 intrinsically in these conditions quite superb. Well, there's confirmation of Katir's very impressive win in that 5,000, 13:08.52. No wonder it was a personal best. Kimeli and Kibet, the Kenyan duo, second and third. Kibet, they're just outside 13:20. And the rest of them struggling a little in these conditions, but they've done well just to finish, in my humble opinion.